Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Today we have a very special show for the show.
Yeah, today we are going to name our all-time Ireland 11. We've taken slightly different approaches to it though, Barry, haven't we?
Yeah, it's we're like, right, we announced on yesterday's show that we're going to be mixing up some things, putting out football shows, MMA shows, rugby shows, etc. So we were like, right, best way to start it is, because we're Irish, if you didn't notice, we were like, right, our all-time Irish starting 11.
Yeah.
Who do you think should actually start?
Well, I'm going to admit that this isn't the best Irish 11 that I've come up with of all time, but I've seen all these players play. So there were players like Johnny Giles and stuff like that who were like absolutely unbelievable back in the day, but like I never actually watched Johnny Giles play a football match, therefore I can't put him in my team. Was that fair?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean,
like that was just my take on it. You know what I mean? Like if you put a few people on your team, that's fair enough. Hold on, I just want to fix my mic actually. I'll just clip it in here.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's in pros here, you know.
Yeah, no, like I was doing out the team, and I was like, I went for a 4-4-2 anyway, and like some players, I just couldn't not put in.
I felt similar, so I'm actually going for a 5-3-2 because, as we said on the show with Paul Needham from Irish Football Fan TV, most of Ireland's best players are defenders. So I got 5 in. So it's a modern style formation for the Irish team.
I got you. At the end of the day, this is just a bit of crack, and like, if you're new to the show, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know your starting 11 or who would actually win. But Ross, you may as well start it off, man.
Right, kicking it off in between the sticks. Shay Given. Like, can't really go wrong with him. Absolute sensational goalkeeper. Was brilliant through the 2002 World Cup campaign. Did you go for the same?
I did, but you do realise today it's actually Shay Given's birthday.
Well, I'm not putting him in for charity reasons here, but
yeah, well, you met him
saw
before.
someone wish him happy birthday. I know I met him before. Goalkeepers stick together. In fairness, Packy Bonner actually ran a close second, in fairness to him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, like, see, like, some people are going to disagree, and like my dad would be like, how would you not pick Packy? But just Shay Given was so solid for our growing up times.
I think also was a big fan of Shay Given because he was like so on the smaller side for goalkeepers, but like it never affected him.
Yeah, he was a legend for Ireland. He was a legend for Ireland, man.
Yeah, he really was. Yeah. I was always a big fan of him. I always thought he was like top of the pops.
Same here. Like you say today, numerous times. Absolute legend up in Newcastle as well.
Yeah, he is. Although like he sort of got bounced around at the end of his career, didn't he? He was for a while.
Yeah, no. Do you remember he went to Man City when it was like the beginning of the revolution, and like he was good there as well.
When they were owned by the Asian owners, wasn't it? I think he was before
Mark Hughes signed it, I think.
Yeah, he was before the second set of billionaires. He was the first set of billionaires.
Yeah, the corrupt ones.
Well, I think they were like robbing the Malaysian government's money. So Barry, I've gone for 5 at the back. So which side do you want to start on? The right hand side or the left hand side?
Start off on the right. That's the way we go usually.
On the right hand side, I have Ireland's current captain, Seamus Coleman. Look, Seamus Coleman. He's probably captain one of Ireland's poor sides in a long time. But Seamus Coleman, week in, week out, for everything is incredible. And when he puts on that green jersey for Ireland, you know you're at least getting a 7 out of 10 performance from every single time.
Yeah. Do you think he was right to stay at Everton for so long? Because like he was linked with United for numerous years. And
look, if that Man United link was as true as it was as thought to be, he probably should have up and left sticks and went there. Because after Gary Neville, United sort of struggled with right back for a while. He could have definitely filled that void. But
that's true.
Now Wan-Bissaka's in the door, so Wan-Bissaka I think is a better defender than Seamus Coleman.
Yeah, also Seamus Coleman's coming off that injury, and I don't know if you can really say he's been the same since.
No, not quite.
Yeah, so go across your back 5.
Oh, you want all of them? My left wing back, Dennis Irwin. Probably the easiest selection in my entire team to put in Dennis Irwin. Absolutely versatile off both feet, brilliant set piece player. When I say Seamus Coleman never gives less than 7 out of 10. I think Dennis Irwin always gives a 9 out of 10 every single game. Like, possibly the most solid player I've ever seen play football. Good to do it all. Never looks phased whatsoever. And then my 3 at the back are Paul McGrath. I'm pretty sure Paul McGrath won PFA Player of the Year in 1993-94 season. And I think only him and maybe Van Dijk are the only 2 defenders in the history of the Premier League as defenders to win Player of the Year. So, like, why not have Paul McGrath on your team? I also have big Richie Dunn. Richie Dunn was actually so unfortunate that he didn't get to partner Vincent Kompany in Man City league winning team, because he was actually, he was Player of the Year for Man City 3 years in a row, and he got absolutely turfed out. He was also 1 stone heavier than every other single Premier League player, and he still managed to do a solid job. He was also great at Villa. And then
what's his most iconic moments in your mind?
To be honest, my most iconic moment that I always remember Richard Dunn for is for going on the absolute piss and then showing up for training locked.
Okay. Then who's the?
And then he actually also played for Aston Villa. Stan the man, Steve Staunton. What's called? He can score a goal from a corner kick, like brilliant left foot, and he's going to tuck in on the inside left and supply Dennis Irwin the ball. Watching that back 5.
You see, I don't really know how you're gonna put Steve Staunton in there and make him the manager as well. But like, you think of crazy things sometimes, Roscoe. So yeah, won't question you anymore. My back 4, right? I went for Stephen and a right back. Like, he's done all. I think he's won every league and every cup.
You win Premier League?
No.
Every league bar the Premier League.
Yeah, but he won the Champions League with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Bar that.
And he came to contention for me as well. I was considering picking him.
Yeah. I had obviously had Seamus Coleman there as well. But like Stephen, like when it goes to the medals and stuff, and like
where medals on the table, Graham Souness style.
Yeah, exactly. And how consistent he was a right back as well. He just had to be in there. For centre backs, I went for Richie Dunn and Paul McGrath as well. Paul McGrath, like, obviously, what a legend. I remember I met him and I was just like, what a sound guy as well. And like, he is my dad's all-time favorite footballer. And like, he was like, even the stuff he's done outside of football as well. I know we're not basing on that, but like just a legend. I was just like in awe when I met him. Like, I mean, he was so sound and he had time for everyone. I couldn't believe it. Whereas like, you'd see lesser people be more snobby to people, snobby to people. Snobbish. You can picture that, like, snobbish. Yeah, what a legend. He could also play in midfield. He was like, what a career.
I also think he broke down barriers, that, because I feel like there was a lot of racism in Ireland in the early 90s, and like, people didn't view him as black or white. That was Paul McGrath. That was it.
Yeah, man, what a legend. We're gonna have to try and get him on the show anyway. His centre back partner, as I said, Richie Dunn. Like, I mean, what a absolute bull, and like as quick as
a colossus.
Yeah, he was basically like the Irish John Terry, except he had pace. Most iconic thing was obviously away in Russia when Russia had like 50 shots and he blocked 49 of them. I remember he had the wrap around his head and he had the marker drawn, number 5 on his top. Like, I mean, if that's not Irish, I don't know what is.
I didn't want to rob your moment, Baz,
Yeah, no, I thought so. But left back, obviously Dennis Irwin, man. Like, being Man United fans, like, you could take penalties, take corners, take everything. He's actually right-footed.
Yeah, but he was just good off both, wasn't he? He was incredible.
Yeah, and like, just model professional. Like, I mean, imagine him and Roy Keane did everything together, I'll say,
yeah, Roy Keane always just, like, any chance he gets, he just praises Dennis Irwin to the max.
Yeah, I think that, like, that connection, Roy Keane and Dennis Irwin, like, having that Irish connection with Man U, it was just like, that's who I support. Also, my dad said he would kick me out of gaff if I didn't support them at the age of 4 or 5. But Roscoe,
is that why you were homeless for a while?
That was why I was homeless for a while, in kindergarten, as one would say. So far, I have Shay Given a goal, Stephen right back, Richie Dunn, Paul McGrath, and Dennis Irwin. Ross, you have?
I have Shay Given, Seamus Coleman, Dennis Irwin, Steve Staunton, Paul McGrath, and Richie Drumm.
Yeah, you can tell you have to read the line across properly. So here, right, moving into midfield now. Let us know now in the comments who's your back.
Who's winning so far?
Yeah, who's winning or who's your defense?
I think I'm winning so far because I have another player on the pitch.
That's a good call. That's a good call. I'm the player manager. But Ross, midfield, man, you fire ahead.
So I have 3-man midfield. I have the general, Roy Keane in midfield. Multiple time Premier League winner, Champions League winner. He's probably the greatest leader football has ever seen. He's also the captain of my team. I don't know if we're supposed to have a captain of the team, but there he is. He's in there. And he's partnered by 2 more attacking players. I have Ray Houghton in there. He was unbelievable in 1994. And I have Damien Duff in there. Quite an attacking duo, but that's who I picked. What about you, Balcom?
I went for midfield 2. I actually also have to go over this with my dad now, so like this is showing a few years in this. But yes, Ray Houghton, he was like, you have to put him in the team. Because like we previously interviewed Matt Holder, I had him written down here as like I was trying to write down midfielders for a 2-man midfield. And my dad actually
I was like Matt Holland, Lee Carsley, Mark Kinsella. I was like Jeff Hendrick. I was like, Conor Dowda. You know what I mean? I was like,
it was way harder. Ross rang me and he was like, here, right, are you ready to record? We're going to do starting 11 now. And I was like, man, you need a half an hour. And you're like, what? I was like, man, this is way harder. Like I wrote down Matt Holland. My dad goes, why do you have him down? I was like, he's our mate. He might be watching this as well. Shout out, Matt. But I went for Ray Houghton, and then obviously beside him was Roy Keane. Like like Ross covered nearly everything, but Roy Keane was everything that made me fall in love with football. I remember I met him before working, same sort of situation as meeting Paul McGrath, and like he was doing the show with Gary Neville, and I was like, oh my god, there's Roy Keane. Like, oh my god, and I was like, hopefully I don't want him to hate me. So I went up to Gary Neville, talked to him first, had a bit of chat, and I was like, all right, cool, and then walked away, and I was like, no, Baz, you have to fucking do it. You have to go over to Roy Keane and say hi to him. So I went over and said, how's it going, Roy? He's like, all right. And then I had a quick chat with him about football. And like people that were working there were sort of looking at me being like, why is that guy talking to Roy Keane? Game away. You know what I mean? Like, but,
what you actually talk to him about? Can you remember?
I was like, first of all, I was in shock and I was looking at him. I was like, because you only see him through the TV. You never see him walking around, you know? Obviously. And then, I was like, oh, Roy, you're a legend, basically. What we could do with someone like you back in United now. Just before Harry Maguire's time, we said, yeah, we could do with Harry Maguire. Hopefully he does well. And then, I may have mentioned I was there in the Champions League final 99, maybe, but like, I was right. You're sort of like looking and like, taking
you're sort of taking it in. It almost like the moment goes by you.
Yeah. At the end, I was like,
I was talking to him. I don't know what it was. I think I was telling him my favourite shoots for the blackcurrant. I wasn't too sure.
But at the end, I go captain, leader, legend, and then like shook his hand and walked away. And I was like, I obviously got the photo as well. Like one of the lads came over and asked for a photo. I didn't ask for the photo.
Did you actually say that to him, captain, leader, legend?
Yeah, man. Like honestly. I love the guy, man. He is like everything. Like he is everything that, like, even when I play football, like
I feel like if someone met me and then went Irish podcaster, Aegis, and this shook me on the podcast, I'd be like, yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah, but man, but come on, this is Roy Keane. I'm sure people have said worse things to him than Captain Leader Legend. Leave this out. And then I kissed him.
And then he gave him his fish supper.
You have to get him on the podcast. I'm actually going to read. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this crack.
Right, who have you got on the wings,
Ray Houghton and Roy Keane pick itself, really. On the wings, I actually have Damien Duff and Liam Brady. You can put them whichever side you want to. I don't think you can pick a team without, like, probably the most talented footballer I'd ever play for Ireland, Liam Brady. Like, he's done everything. Like, for Arsenal, obviously gone to Italy, like, at the time, which is the best league in the world. He's brilliant. Like, all his punditry, I think, is brilliant. I really enjoy listening to him on Eamon Dunphy's podcast. Eamon Dunphy is another person we do have in line to come back on the show when he gets back to us. But and I could potentially bring Johnny Jaws on the show, Liam Brady. These lads are looking to do stuff as well. But Liam Brady, what a player! He can play anywhere across the four-man midfield, and he was unfortunate not to go to Italian 90, if I'm correct. We were born in 1990 for people that don't know. Obviously, Damien Duff as well on the team. Ross, what a player! Like, he was part of that revolution that Mourinho created in the Premier League with Chelsea. He was the Irish Arjen Robben. What a player! So talented. Like, and we really.
He's a wizard.
Yeah, but yeah, now he's back part of the fold in the Irish team, which is great to see. Ross, you obviously had three up front then.
I do have three up front. Let's be honest, I'm gonna kick things off with my main man. No, I only have two up front. 5-3-2.
5-3-2. Sorry, excuse me. You have two.
Jesus, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to name an extra player now who I didn't pick in my team. Look, I have Ireland's best strike force of all time up front. I have Noel Quinn, the big man, and I have, of course, Robbie Keane. They're Ireland's number 1 and 2 all-time leading goal scorers. It was an easy enough selection for me. 2002 was magic when we had Robbie Keane and Damien Duff playing together. They were absolutely brilliant, and I felt like Noel Quinn was the perfect big man that we needed.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. I actually met Noel Quinn as well. He's way taller, and he has some amazing stories. He's actually got some amazing stories. Like, I think he sort of people perceive him as this like clean cut guy, but like he was going out with the best of them with Tony Adams and Paul Merson. So like he was doing the gambling, doing the drinking, but he said he was lucky that he had the outlet of come back to Ireland, whereas they look there and like look what's happened to Paul Merson. He's basically gone bankrupt, and then look what happened to Tony Adams, like absolute alcoholic. Noel Quinn was lucky. Like, sorry to hear for them lads, but Noel Quinn.
I feel like he has an underrated career, you know that. Because he was at City and he was at Arsenal. But I feel like everyone just remembers him from being at Sunderland.
Yeah, well, Sunderland did well that year, didn't they? Come up for, like
him and Kevin Phillips did brilliant, didn't they?
Yeah, Kevin Phillips was the top goal scorer in the season in the league, and Noel Quinn did play a part in that. Some people would say the Irish version of Michael Owen and Peter Crouch, but but yeah, what a partnership that was. That was obviously us growing up, like around 12, 13. Watching these lads, that World Cup, who couldn't forget it? Hopefully one day we qualify again soon. But just going back over my team, Ross, I have Shay Given, Steve Finnan, Richie Dunn, Paul McGrath, Dennis Irwin, Liam Brady, Ray Houghton, Roy Keane, Damien Duff, Noel Quinn, and Robbie Keane.
Unbelievable. I have Shay Given, Seamus Coleman, Paul McGrath, Richie Dunn, Steve Staunton, Dennis Irwin, Roy Keane, Ray Houghton, Damien Duff, Noel Quinn, and Robbie Keane. We actually have quite similar teams. Yeah. In fairness, I'll probably concede that if you go best Ireland team of overall, it's probably your team. My team, I just picked because I've actually seen all them play. Ray Houghton was like the person I actually seen least of, but he scored against England in 1988 and he scored against Italy in 1994. You know what I mean? Like, two of the most iconic Irish goals of all time. So I had to pick him because I've seen those goals.
Yeah, like a few other people, obviously, you're like Packy Bonner, John O'Shea, Frank Stapleton. But like some players, like, I mean, some like Liam Brady, you can't just leave out because like you haven't been blessed with wingers, you know?
Oh, definitely not.
Like Duffer, and then I was like, me and my dad were sitting there for ages for a right winger, and my dad was like, oh, well, like, you can't not have Liam Brady there, you know? Like, put
it this way: if you have both of them in the squad, they both play. One just have to play on the right.
Yeah, and after all, the biggest legend that ever played for Ireland was Joe Laporta. But Ross, who would be your manager?
It's a tough one, but I'm going to go with Jack Charlton. How can you not? You know, I mean, we're all part of Jackie's army. That's just who I went with. He never had a bust up with someone that no one ever left his World Cup team.
Joe, I'm going to go for. I'm actually going to go for Stephen Kenny. I think Stephen Kenny will get us to a World Cup with that team.
You think so?
Yeah, I wasn't.
Man, supposed to be the best manager, Ireland manager of all time. You think? Someone's never managed to get in.
What do you mean? You said Ireland's best starting 11. You didn't say your best ever.
All right. So you want to give a new manager? Okay, fair enough.
Well, who would you give it? I know you said Jack Charlton, but Jack Charlton was slated for us not playing better style football.
Yeah, but you got the job done. Like,
I know, but
we
sometimes
won.
getting the job done doesn't mean it's like.
Man, Ireland have never played good football, so like us getting the job done, us winning is all that matters.
I know that's the thing. Like as Roy Keane had it, like it was like he went out to that World Cup to win it, or else not compete. I
Yeah.
know, yeah, but
Well, in fairness, if he beat Spain on penalties, we would have ended up playing, I think, was it South Korea, and then we would have almost been in the semi-final against Germany in the rematch from the group stage, and then we would have been in the final against Brazil, and then we would have lost.
See the way you said that.
Fowler would have been like, "Are you messing?"
See the way you're like, if we had done that,
Yeah.
That's the way England are right now. When if Harry Kane had a pass at a Sterling, make it 2-0, they would have got to the final, and then what would happen? That's the annoying thing about sport. You're like, if this had happened, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I also think if VAR gets implemented into international football, like that's bad for Ireland, because I feel like we might flukely get a just offside goal, and then we like won't get that offside goal anymore.
Yeah. Oh well, the Henry handball, that would have been, we were screwed up there, yeah.
But guys, if you are watching at home and you do have some videos you'd like to see us do, I think we're going to do position by position, best player in Premier League. But if there's other videos you want to see, we'll probably do a rugby 15. Who knows?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Anything else out in there, Basmo?
No, this was actually a good crack going over having discussion, because like me and you, like our friendship formed over football, you know. So like going back to the grassroots, as one would say. But yeah, if you could put 3 players back into the Irish team right now, who would you pick?
Oh, that's a great question.
Why not end it with something like that, you know?
Definitely Robbie Keane. He'd be first on the score team cheek because can't score a goal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick any of the defenders because I don't think we're actually as weak in defence. I'll pick Roy Keane because we need someone to pick up the socks in midfield. And Duffer. I'll take Duffer. I was thinking to take Shay Gibbon, but I don't think Randolph's like terrible, so therefore I need another midfielder in there to actually. We need goals.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I'd go for the Savage at back, Paul McGrath, Roy Keane, and Robbie Keane.
Fair.
That's a spine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here, Ross, we could stay here all decade going over it. But guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure to let us know in the comments. Make sure to hit
give
like.
It a thumbs up.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe, because I always get people listening to this on Spotify as well.
And as always, stay energized.
Go on, big.